Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to FHS and the Red Sea Global Breakout. I just wanted to ask everyone for a quick show of hands. I see some friendly faces that I know, but how many people know a decent amount about Red Sea Global versus not really know much at all? Like if you know a lot about it, raise your hands. If you don't know much, you guys know a lot about it. I can see that. Yanni? Okay. And a few people who don't know too much about us? Yeah? Okay. So I'll canter through the slides, and we'll do it that way. So RSG is it's obviously we're fully owned by PIF. They're our main kind of equity sponsor. We've been in business since kind of 2018, 2019, and we're a vertically integrated developer at this point. We've got two primary projects I'll be telling you guys about. We've got the Red Sea project, and then we've got Amala up the coast. These are the two projects that will be the primary focus today. Another very critical part of our overall kind of brand positioning is just a lot of focus on regeneration, which we've also done in our PPPs, which I'll also be telling you guys about. In terms of some stats, people talk about Red Sea being 28,000 square kilometers, very large, like the size of Belgium, but the actual development footprint is a good deal smaller. And Amala, which is about 200 kilometers up the coast from Red Sea, is 4,200 square kilometers. We're an 8-hour flight from 85% of the world's population, so very good location in terms of centrality there. And also just 3 hours from 250 million people, so a lot of feeder markets reasonably close by. Also, we like to think of ourselves as a year-round destination in terms of weather. There'll be some seasonality, but overall, unlike Dubai, unlike Abu Dhabi, where you have a very kind of fierce summer and a lot of humidity, we're well north of Jeddah, less humidity, temperatures more in kind of the 34, 35, 36 Celsius. So we're positioning ourselves, there'll be some shoulder seasons, there'll be some seasonality, but we're positioning ourselves as a year-round destination. We talked about the criticality of our sustainability and regeneration agenda. This is something that's very fundamental from our chairman, our CEO on down. We take it very seriously. We've done 2 large multi-utility concession deals that are fully, we're fully off-grid, we've had these successful collaborations both with Aqua Power and EDF on our PPP solutions. The other very important pillar of kind of Vision 2030 is the youth in Saudi Arabia. So as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, probably about 70% of Saudi's population is under the age of 35. So a big part of Vision 2030 is ensuring that we have job prospects for the coming generation. We've created academies, hospitality scholarships, elite programs, where we're really trying to bring this young cohort of Saudis into the hospitality sector. Because this is a different type of hospitality offering. Saudi's been very accustomed to Hajj tourism, Umrah tourism. We've had a lot of business like here in Faisaliyah in terms of Dammam, Riyadh, Jeddah in terms of business travel, but for this hyper luxury tourism, it's a different type of tourism where we're training up young Saudis to kind of enter into the mix and be able to take over positions like GMs and deputy GMs in the fullness of time. Back to what I was saying, on our regeneration bona fides, we've installed over 750,000 solar panels now. A corollary to that is we have one of the largest battery storage farms in the world because obviously when the sunlight dissipates at nighttime, we need to be able to carry that energy load, keep energizing all the rooms. In terms of investment strategy, this is kind of an indicative slide that just gives you guys a little bit of kind of the main food groups. So obviously we're primarily focused on hospitality right now, hyper luxury premium space. There's a significant amount of resi. My colleague Steve Cheeseborough, who's here today, he's head of development for Red Sea, but also is helping on our residential efforts. He'll be presenting later today on some of our residential offering as well. Experiential that comes along with that, which is so critical for a hotel offering across F&B, luxury retail, wellness, and then all the attendant infrastructure that kind of comes along with creating a greenfield destination in a quite remote location. We've had to build an airport, we have standalone mobility solutions, et cetera, et cetera. Like I said at the beginning, we're broadly and primarily funded by PIF as well as the Saudi government and Ministry of Finance. But we've tried to do a real job of diversifying our cap stack. So we've tapped the debt markets, we've done a couple JVs. I'll tell you about some of the people in the room were instrumental in the first debt raise we did. We raised $14.5 billion in SAR back in 21 from 4 major local banks, Saab, Red Bank, BSF, and SMB. And that's essentially to fund phase 1 of Red Sea, which will be opening its doors at the end of this year, notably our hub island of Shura, which have more visuals, which I'll show you shortly. And then we did 2 JVs with the private sector so far. We did one with Prince Abdulaziz for the Four Seasons Hotel on Shura. And we did one with a prominent local family office, Tariq Mutlaq, for the Jumeirah asset, also on Shura. And so we were very flattered by, for example, that Prince Abdulaziz, obviously he's been an investor in the Four Seasons brand on a macro basis historically, that he picked our Four Seasons, I think was a testament to his belief in our project team and our ability to execute on plan and on budget. These were the 2 PPP deals I was telling you about, both 25-year concessions. The one for Red Sea we've done with Aqua Power, which is Mr. Abu Nayyan. And then for Amala, we're proud of this one because in a way it represents a little bit of FDI. EDF is at Electricité de France and Masdar out of Abu Dhabi. So again, multi-utility concession PPPs to allow this destination to be off-grid, 100% powered by renewables. It's more expensive, honestly speaking, and puts a little bit more pressure on the underwriting, but for us it's the right thing to do from a branding perspective and something we insisted on doing. We also have done another concession style deal with the catering arm of Saudi Airlines Saudi Airlines, their catering arm, to essentially provide the main canteen and meals for our staff, as well as laundry for Terry, linen, etc. So another significant deal we recently did about a year and a half ago. This is kind of like a quick snapshot of where we're at. I wouldn't focus you guys too much on pipeline right now. I'd say let's focus on 2025. So this year was a big, big push to get 11 hotels on Shura Island open. And that's our primary focus. That's keeping us very busy. But there's a lot of future development opportunities that you see in the middle, which guys like Steve are heavily involved in. Mudra, Kuman. This archipelago, the Al-Waj Lagoon, I should say, it has 90 islands, but we're just developing on a maximum of 22 of them. So it's a pretty light footprint overall. I'm going to zero in a little bit on Red Sea right now. So we're 87% done. There are 30,000 workers on this island right now, maybe 31,000. So we're kind of full on getting through all of this hotel programming being live by the end of the year. And then we have some hotels that are open, which I'll show you in a moment, where you're seeing the 100% completion. We've opened up an airport, Red Sea International Airport, RSI. The airport, we first opened up the seaplane terminal, which takes normal carriers as we finalize the main airport, just to be able to get guests to the Mono Islands. But the main airport, you see there's kind of 5 nodes there in the middle. At least 2 to 3 of those nodes will be open by the end of the year. Hey, Vern, how are you? Great to see you. So we're very proud, and this airport will be critical for phase 1 of Shura because it'll be a 20-minute drive from the airport to the hub island, which is obviously critical. Lift is always a bit of a chicken-egg dynamic. Right now we've got 10 flights a week. We've got 4 from Riyadh, 2 from Jeddah, a couple from offshore from Dubai, and then a couple from Dammam. We're in discussions with other airlines now, maybe Qatar Air, maybe Emirates, because this is Fly Dubai currently. And then, of course, we're looking at longer haul coming in from European markets and other markets as well. So a lot of discussions underway on the lift equation. This is another item that we're extraordinarily proud to always say. We're actually open. We have 6 assets live now. The first one to open was the Six Senses, which is kind of more of a desert experience. It's on a dune plateau. Probably in many ways one of our most underrated offerings. It's just an incredibly still, peaceful place, a lovely asset. St. Regis, some of that kind of Maldivian vibes on the overwater villas. Najuma is our Ritz-Carlton Reserve. I think at this point there are only 7 reserves in the world. It's an amazing experience, a lovely, lovely asset. And then we're particularly proud of Shabar and Desert Rock. These are 2 assets we decided not to do a third-party operator brand deal. We're keeping them under our own kind of brand footprint. Shibara has 73 keys. It's a very kind of iconic steel structure. And then Desert Rock, which we kind of burrowed into the mountain face and has these cool kind of cave and crevice suites. And then we have a small little buyout asset. This one's actually further south near the Jeddah Coast area called Dual. It's a 6-key buyout asset, so all open currently. I'm going to kind of go through these quickly, but this is just to give you guys a little bit of a sense of the aesthetics. We call this the Oasis, this element of the Six Senses with these kind of canopy structures. The St. Regis. This is the Ring of Juma. That's the restaurant we call Sitta, with those, which is the number 6 with those 6. So there's a good kind of Lebanese restaurant nestled in the middle there, and then you've got these lovely overwater villas. You also have ones on land. A lot of good press around the Jumas come out, Condé Nast, etc. A little bit of a closer up on some of the room vibes and how the typologies have been put together. Shibara, 73 keys, like I mentioned. A lot of great recognition and industry attention on this asset. We've got an Italian and a Japanese restaurant here. Just gives you, an amazing pool experience here, kind of in this capsule. We've had some really high-profile people that have come and stayed with us at Shibara. So just kind of cantering through these. Another overwater villa. Desert Rock, again, this is a real picture, not a CGI, taken at night. A magical, amazing place. I highly recommend anyone in this room who hasn't been, come visit us at Desert Rock. This is more of a mountain experience, stargazing at night, some signature elements where you kind of hike over that. You can't see it, but that lit part is kind of a suspension bridge, and you keep going up to something we call the observatory, which is an amazing place to catch sunsets. Just a really lovely asset. Here you see that cave suite and or crevice suite aesthetic with the plunge pools. So it's amazing. I think it's probably one of the only Instagrammable hotel corridors in the world, because you go in and you're in the mountain and there's the carpet and it feels strange, but it's lovely. So highly recommend it. So 64 keys done. Some more renderings here. Gym, all day dining. Specialty restaurant concepts, etc. These are the cave rooms. You see the corridor on the bottom left? That's what I was talking about, which I just snapped a selfie there last Thursday. I thought it was really cool. Thule is the small. This is just kind of a barefoot luxury, but very high quality of service here near Kaust, down closer to the Jeddah area. So just kind of quintessential barefoot luxury. And again, open for business. So this is really critical. So this is the main event this year. This is what we're pushing hard to accomplish. This is the hub island of Shura. 11 hotels will be opening by the end of the year, inshallah. Some of them are the usual suspects, like Four Seasons, Jumeirah, but others are brands that you wouldn't typically associate with Saudi, like Faena, Edition, SLS. So we tried to have a good mix of brands here. The Grand Hyatt is the MICE asset. It's the biggest in terms of key count, I think around 430 keys. It'll be the entry point. It'll be attached to kind of a retail tail and a marina, so that'll be kind of the epicenter. But then you'll have all these other offerings, including an 18-hole golf course called Shura Links. I'm not a golfer, but I hear it's a really nice course. It's already been fully grassed. This is Shura Links. You see the clubhouse. And you see, I think these pictures are probably a little bit out of date, but you see them already quite grassed from that aerial view, and some more here. Steve, again, will be talking about this later, but we've got 75, we call them the residences, but we have 75 villas that will be golf branded by Four Seasons inventory for sale. Also opening at the end of the year. The Rosewood, Raffles, the Jumeirah, which I was just at last week. I feel these pictures are a little bit dated, but still I think you get the sense that they're, we're out of the ground and we're moving quickly. Fairmont. Again, the Grand Hyatt, which will have this kind of signature element that we call coral bloom with the colored umbrellas, which I think will be a cool aesthetic. Intercon is very advanced, as is the SLS. Faena. The Edition, probably probably the one that's closest out of the gates right now. Four Seasons, not the golf villas, but the Four Seasons Hotel, which also have residential product, which we've been selling in market reasonably successfully, and Steve will talk more about that later. Miraval, which as you probably all know is Hyatt's wellness brand. So to tee all this up, we've had to create, we call it the staff village. It's really a town now. There are thousands of people, at least 4,000 people that live there. None of this existed 3-4 years ago. So this is kind of where the support staff is living, not to be confused with the main camps, with the man camps with the construction workers. But this is and we have a lovely hotel, Turtle Bay Hotel, where guys like me stay when we're coming for business. It's probably the one that has the highest occupancy right now. It's like there's a command audience, but we've all logged our time in the TBH. But it's a lovely, I'd say like a 4-star vibe, great hotel, some really good landscaping's gone into this. I'm going to pivot to Amala. Amala is, in its own right, its own mega project, not quite a giga maybe. It's interesting how that's kind of construed, but John, who's our CEO, was asked to take over Amala about 3-4 years ago. So that's now under the ambit of Red Sea Global. So I would say the big differentiator with Amala is a few things. One is Amala has much more of a wellness focus, so it'll have a significant kind of wellness hub precinct. Also the topography, which I'll show you in a moment, is significantly different. We have cliffs and bluffs that come up to the coastline in these naturally occurring bays, unlike more of the island archipelago that you have at Red Sea. So somewhat different. Phase 1 again, which I'll ask you to focus on, is basically 8 hotels, which we're pushing hard to have open by the end of the year. So our unofficial motto in the company now is 25 and 25, because we have 6 assets open and we're opening up 19 this year. So by the end of the year, hopefully we'll have 25 hotels open for business. This is a little bit behind Red Sea, probably 71, 72 right now. John moves fast, and we've probably done a lot over the past 2 weeks. They were at site last week, but it's coming along quickly. This gives you a little bit of a visual. I mentioned those cliffs and those bluffs, so you can see, and you can see why we call Phase 1 Triple Bay, because of the naturally occurring 3 bays. And again, yes, it's a wellness hub. Brands like Clinique La Prairie, Djerejian, critical in terms of the positioning, but there are also things that are a little bit off-piece for something like that, like Anamos, right? So we're trying to keep a diversity of offering. The MICE hotel here will be the Ritz-Carlton, and then we're going to have a major yacht club. We've collaborated with Monaco, as well as what we call Corallium, which is basically a marine life institute, which will be interactive. There'll be actual research happening, but also guests can come and kind of experience it. So this is kind of how the precinct is coming together. Also Equinox. Just another kind of view. Here you get a little bit of a better sense of what we hope you'd agree is pretty iconic architecture for the yacht club, and also Corallium, the Marine Life Institute, and then another kind of more of a bird's eye view of the MICE Hotel at the Ritz. Marina's already been flooded, active construction. You can see the progress with the marina, with the yacht club. More of a close-up. You can see what the finished product is meant to look like on the left. The Marine Life Institute, Corallium, again, pretty cool architectural features. The Ritz, Equinox, the Namos. I'm just going to kind of canter through these. Like I said, another Four Seasons here, another Six Senses here, and another Rosewood. So we've repeated with those brands. But CLP is obviously at Amala, not down at Red Sea Project. And same with Djerejian, part of the wellness offering. There are a couple other deals we're working on in the wellness space. They're not quite live yet, but there'll be a couple other wellness flags in the overall precinct. Retail, another staff village, more golf. LAHEC is an interesting one, and Steve will probably touch on this more in his presentation later, but this is a little bit of a new direction for us, where it's less focused on hotel key inventory. It's more of a resi focus, so this will be kind of 70% resi, 30% hotels. Basically, I would say this is kind of more of a discovery land model. There are 745, Steve, villas and or condos for sale here? 749, okay. Thanks. So just shy of 750 resi units, writ large, available here. and then there'll be a Shaw Well and a LXR as the hotels. Amazing kind of arrival sequence. You can come on boat. There'll be some land connectivity as well, but this is meant to be more of a kind of a marine arrival. It gives you a sense of the aesthetic. Some community villas. We call this the Forever Garden of the Ring. Two of the hotels are kind of on the periphery, but also sprinkled are apartments. So this is a mix of resi and hotel inventory here. And then I think the concept here is active lifestyle. So, sports pavilions and the like. Some aerial views of some of the progress on construction, the villas. I touched upon this at the beginning. This is just another, the pillar of Vision 2030 being job creation, particularly for young Saudis, and we're very proud of what we've been able to accomplish in this space with our elite graduate program and our National Academy. And then our board, chaired by His Royal Highness, the executive team, and that's really it. So thank you for listening. I hope I didn't go too fast, and I hope I didn't go too slow for some of you who knew and some of you who didn't know about Red Sea. But that's really us in a nutshell. I should say, we do have a pipeline of projects beyond Red Sea and Amal and Lahak, but that's still more confidential. But our hope is that we'll have additional programming we'll be developing alongside other portions of the Red Sea coast. So honestly, it feels like it's early days for us as a developer over a pretty long time horizon. So anyway, maybe I'll open it up for any questions, not from my team, who will either throw me softballs or really, really hard ones, like what was our occupancy last week. But yeah, just if there are any questions, feel free. You've been there. Yes, sir.
You said about at the airport, 2 of the terminals are still opening up. Will the flight regularity increase with them opening up, or is that going to be further?
Yeah, no, so maybe, forgive me if I wasn't sufficiently clear. So right now we've opened just the seaplane terminal, which is a small appendage to the main airport. Why? Because we had to start being able to bring in our seaplane service to get out to the mono islands that are already open, so the Ritz-Carlton Reserve, the St. Regis, etc. The main airport, which has those 5 nodes, at least 3 of those will be open by the end of the year. All things being equal, yes, that translates to more lift, more activity, but we're already bringing in the 10 flights a week on the current footprint just using the seaplane terminal. But obviously there's a chicken-egg dynamic. The airlines want comfort that the destination is alive. We're going to have heads in beds, feet in sheets. It's a real thing. At the same time, we don't want to be doing massive subsidizing of airlines. So there's a bit of a dialogue afoot. But like I said, there are live dialogues happening with a variety of additional carriers, and I think we're going to be building from the 10 current flights a week we have now. I'd be very surprised if that number is not significantly higher, much higher by this time next year. So.
Greg, I'd just like to say congratulations on what you've done. I had the opportunity to visit Desert Rock in Shabara. Desert Rock is the most spectacular hotel I've ever been to in the whole world. It is incredible. And Shabara is fantastic too.
That's very generous. So Vernon is kind of the consigliere and advisor to Prince Bandar, who had some of the opening remarks this morning with Kazama and Faisalia fame. Unfortunately, I wasn't here. I had meetings this morning. I wanted to come, but some of the team attended, and I heard he said nice things about Red Sea, so please thank him. But yeah, no, our guests that have come, like Vernon, really have been really, I don't want to say enamored, but they've really liked Desert Rock and Shabara. So I urge you to come visit. Yeah. Nothing else? Is this where I get to open it up to my team to ask you something? Okay, well, thank you all for your time and attention, and come visit us.